Hello and welcome back to another video of Haunted Man Cave, the series where we dive deep into the haunted places in the world, or somewhere in the US or Canada, I don't know. But today, our video, for the second time today, I know you saw the Vegas one, but today we are going to be doing the 5 most haunted places in the Caribbean, starting with number 5, Castillo San Cristobal. Castillo San Cristobal is in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and is part of the San Juan National Historic Site. This fort is surrounded by an insane local legend. The city's executioner once had a daughter named Maria Dolores. Maria fell in love with a thief named Betancourt, and one day Betancourt was caught and Maria's father had him hanged in the gallows. When Maria was walking through the gallows, she saw her deceased boyfriend hanged in the gallows. She was so distraught over the loss of her only love that she decided to hang herself right next to him for her father to find. To this day, the spirit of Betancourt and Maria have been sighted multiple times around the fort, gazing out into the sunset through the wall, appearing to young lovers as a sort of warning. Number 4, Castillo San Felipe de Moro. Castillo San Felipe de Moro in San Juan, Puerto Rico was built in 1589 with defenses set up as early as 1539 to protect San Juan Harbor. Like the previous fort, Castillo San Felipe de Moro is owned by the San Juan National Historic Site. Many visitors have cited a terrifying range of supernatural occurrences, including disembodied footsteps and the full-body apparitions of soldiers marching their routes from the other side. On several occasions, police have been called after gunshots were heard and hearing the sounds of what it sounds like a full-scale war. Lastly, a dark presence is said to lurk around the fort. People who have seen this dark figure aren't sure what it is or if it is even remotely human. It is reported to be 8 feet tall in height and with red eyes. Sometimes it could get aggressive with anyone who crosses its path, forcing everyone to flee the premises in terror. Number 3, Trunk Bay. Trunk Bay is located in the Virgin Islands National Park on St. John, and though it may look like the perfect place for a summer getaway, you should probably vacate the area before dark as the paranormal activity starts to rise when it gets dark. There has been an apparition swimming around this area of a ghostly scuba diver in a black suit. When people have been swimming in the water near it, they have been either physically grabbed by their feet from him or have physically watched him surface up above the water. Number 2, the Grand Cemetery. The Grand Cemetery in Port-au-Prince, Haiti is a cemetery full of graves that are centuries old. In 2010, an earthquake destroyed much of the city, sending its inhabitants to seek shelter amongst the dead. The estimated death toll was 230,000. Many of the bodies of the people who died from the earthquake have been buried in other tombs or were burned. The cemetery is widely considered not one of the most haunted places in Haiti, but also the world. Those who visit the cemetery can hear disembodied whispers and can see the full-bodied apparitions. Visitors also report scratching noises that locals say are the dead trying to get out of their graves and into rightful ones. If you visit this haunt, be careful, because several have been reported being flicked by invisible hands, even to the point of leaving bruises or welts. Number 1, Rose Hall. Rose Hall in Montego Bay, Jamaica was built in 1770 by John Palmer and his wife Annie. John didn't get to enjoy his home long, as later Annie brutally murdered him, and she wasn't finished. Throughout the years, she would murder 3 husbands and numerous slaves, some whom she'd take as lovers before slaughtering them. Annie was a practitioner of voodoo and witchcraft, and she soon became known as the White Witch of Rose Hall. Then one day she got a taste of her own medicine. Later, she crossed magic with a powerful slave magician named Taku. He ended up using his powerful black magic and physical violence to bring Annie down. To this day, Annie is still buried on the premises in a coffin that Taku personally warded in order to keep her from ever returning. Those people who are lucky enough to go to Rose Hall have reported an astounding range of paranormal activity, including disembodied footsteps, phantom yelling, and lights turning on and off by themselves. Guests have reported turning the corner to see actual slaves raiding the pantry, and when they see the living person, they take on a terrified look before vanishing into thin air. Lastly, the spirit of the White Witch of Rose Hall herself, Annie Palmer, has been sighted consistently throughout the years. She appears as a woman in black, wrapped in black cloth and smoke, and she is often seen on horseback riding around the property. And most disturbingly, those who see Annie will meet an untimely death, so if you get a chance to visit this haunt, be extremely careful. Annie's ghost has been quite aggressive with the living as she causes violent scratches and bruising on several people. With the amount of reports of terrifying paranormal activity and the history to back it, it is no wonder why I chose the Rose Hall Great House as my pick for the most haunted place in the Caribbean.